Did you know women are at twice the risk of developing depression than men, and it's more likely to go unrecognized in men than it is in women? Hi, my name is Jessica O'Brien, and I'm the Deputy Director of Clinical Training for the New York region. I'm here to talk to you about the different ways depression can manifest in men and women and how that might impact treatment. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, major depression is one of the most common mental disorders in the United States, affecting an estimated 16.1 million adults in 2015, which is 6.7% of the adult population. Many people are not aware that depression can affect men and women differently. Let's look more closely at some of these differences. Depression in men is more likely to show up as controlling behavior, anger, and irritability. Women are more likely to ruminate or dwell on negative feelings when feeling depressed. Men are more likely to mask their depression by burying themselves in other outlets such as TV, sports, working excessively, or with some sort of risky behavior. Women may be more likely to become depressed in response to a stressful event. And although women are more likely to attempt suicide, men are more likely to die by suicide. It isn't clear why men and women experience depression differently, but likely involves a number of factors, including brain chemistry, hormones, and life experiences. So what does this mean for us as treatment providers? Although depression may manifest differently between genders, treatment for the most part is the same for men and women. Generally, research suggests that both men and women benefit from a combination of medication and therapy. Where the knowledge of gender differences in depression is most helpful is in the accurate diagnosis and recognition of the disorder. Here are some tips. First, make sure to include a routine mental health screening in the assessment process and follow up on any concerning symptoms. Second, know the DSM-5 diagnostic criteria for depression. While there can be differences in how depression manifests in both genders, the diagnostic criteria are universal and can be present in both. Third, pay attention to behaviors in men that could be signs of depression but aren't always recognized as such, including anger and irritability, controlling or aggressive behavior, or burying oneself in other activities. Fourth, don't assume that depression will always be identified in the initial assessment. Remember, assessment and treatment planning is a dynamic process. Finally, no two people are affected the same way by depression, and there's no one-size-fits-all for treatment. It may take some trial and error to find the treatment that works best. Although depression can be a devastating illness, it's also one that's highly treatable. The first step in the treatment process is accurate identification of the problem, which means knowing the symptoms of depression and how it may present differently in men and women. It's important to remember, though, that just because many women may display depression differently doesn't mean that all women do, and the same goes for men. The purpose of this video is to expand our perspective of how depression can present differently in different people. By knowing these differences, you'll be better equipped to recognize depression for what it is. Thanks for watching today's video, and now you know.